Good morning. It's Saturday, January 25th. I'm Stephanie Bertini in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thanks for joining us live here on the Fox Local app. We're following breaking news out of the Mideast. Hamas freeing 4 female Israeli soldiers as part of the Gaza ceasefire. The hostages released in exchange for 200 Palestinian prisoners. The Israeli soldiers were captured during the October 7th attack that ignited the war. They're now back on Israeli soil. And Pete Hegseth is confirmed as defense secretary. This comes after Vice President Vance broke a 50-50 tie in the Senate. Hegseth's nomination to lead the Pentagon faced months of controversy after reports of sex and alcohol abuse were revealed. Well, here's a look at your weekend forecast. Today, it's cold, but it's warming up tonight. We reach the low 40s. Tomorrow, some sunshine and not as cold. Have you noticed the price of eggs is up at the grocery store? Experts say the bird flu is to blame. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg picks up this report with the impact on Long Island.
Step inside a store for eggs. If you do see them, you'll be paying more.
It used to be like $4 and stuff like that, but now they're a little bit up there.
Up nationally by 36.8% since last year. And here in New York, it's now $7.24 a dozen, up 52 cents from just last week.
At my grocery store, I paid $3.49 at the beginning of December for a dozen eggs, and the same brand dozen eggs, I paid almost $5.
Consumer advocates say bird flu is to blame. 13 million cases in poultry in the last month, according to the USDA.
It's a supply and demand thing.
Seven Brothers Gourmet in Oceanside has no choice but to temporarily charge customers $1 more for an egg sandwich. Their wholesale prices have more than doubled.
It's not like we're trying to price gouge or anything like that. It's costing us so much more money.
Earlier this week, we reported on an outbreak at the oldest and only poultry farm left on Long Island, where more than 100,000 ducks had to be euthanized. While this isn't directly connected to the egg shortage, experts say fear is still leading shoppers to stock up.
There's a little bit of panic action going on, even in parts of the country where the egg supply isn't necessarily affected by the bird flu.
The FDA says it's unlikely that eggs from infected poultry are found in stores. But just to be safe, they say make sure it's cooked to the right temperature.
If you cook your eggs to 165 degrees, then you should not need to be as concerned about the possibility of getting sick.
While officials don't believe the virus spreads from person to person, it's extremely contagious within a flock and can spread from birds to humans. The next few weeks will give everyone a better idea of how long the shortage will last.
If they're able to get their arms around this, then it could be a minimal impact.
With an uncertain future, shoppers continue to walk on eggshells. On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Despite the Surgeon General's recent warning about the link between alcohol and cancer, a majority of Americans still say they won't be skipping happy hour. A new Fox News poll shows nearly 8 in 10 people support putting cancer warning labels on alcohol. However, 2/3 say those labels won't affect their drinking habits. Wine drinkers are most likely to cut back on their sipping, while beer and liquor fans are less likely. Now for the latest installment in our Good Sports series. It's an opportunity for us to highlight some powerhouse local teams. Here's our Jennifer Williams introducing the girls' basketball team at North Babylon.
The minute she walked in the gym, I was like, she's going to be special. Get that, get that.
4 years ago, head coach Matthew Gianelli took over the girls' varsity basketball program at North Babylon High School. He knew right away one freshman was built just a little bit different.
I remember her walking in, and she had all AAU stuff on, and I'm like, oh, look at this one, you know. So she sat in the back of the room nice and quiet, and I go, any questions? And she raised her hand, and I go, yes. She's like, 9th grade is allowed to play on varsity? So I said, if you're good enough.
Jasmine McKay would go on to be a 4-year starter and was named team captain as a sophomore. Now, as the lone senior on the squad, Jasmine is very confident in the team's chemistry, which she helped to cultivate.
Family on 6, 1, 2, 3. Family. 4, 5, 6. Family.
Unbreakable. We don't let anyone break our bond as a team.
She's just a consummate leader, and you know, it's been a joy to watch her. I mean, 1,500 points we celebrated last week, and she's looking for the 2,000, and you know, hopefully we're going to win the league and then see what we do in Suffolk County.
This after the Bulldogs won just 4 games after Jasmine's freshman year. But she's elevated the talent around her.
It's a dogfight out there. Everybody's going for the same goal. We just have to go 100% harder. Like, it's an effort game, really, because that's what it comes down to. It comes down to who wants it more.
Her IQ is just on another level. You can see that the game almost slows down for her. She can see who is open before they even know that they're open.
Assistant coach Nicole Manzella had stepped away from the game when Gianelli urged her to come back to a program that's reached states and produced plenty of D1 talent, including Bria Hartley, who played for UConn and the W, as well as Brianna Jones, who played for Georgetown and now suits up for the Puerto Rican national team and was in Paris last summer.
We've even had many of our alumni come back. They're excited, the community is excited, the teachers are excited. You know, this group is actually breathing life back into our program again, hopefully bringing it back to its old glory.
Boom! Meanwhile, for the second straight year, Jasmine is leading all of Suffolk County in scoring. Her career at North Babylon earning her a full ride at the University of New Haven.
It was just a dream come true. Like, she don't have to pay a penny for me to go to college, so that was really my goal, to just make my mom proud.
Jasmine adds she doesn't think her mother has ever missed a game. In North Babylon, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
All right, the nominees are, we now know the finalists for the 97th Academy Awards. Leading the way was Netflix musical Emilia Perez with 13 total nominations, including Best Picture. That's the most ever for a non-English film. The movie musical follows a cartel leader who disappears by transitioning into a woman. Another musical also coming away with double-digit nominations. Wicked scored 10, including Best Picture and acting nods for its stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The Brutalist was also nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Adrien Brody. But for every Wicked nomination, there are a few head-scratchers. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo takes a look at the Academy Award-nominated films that some people haven't even heard of.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
The Oscar nominations are out, and in the wake of the buzz surrounding movies like Emilia Perez and, of course, Wicked,
you're green.
The question on people's minds is, why have we never heard of most of the films nominated?
I think it depends on what type of film goer you like to see.
Yeah, it's part of like TV nowadays and movies nowadays. I think what happens is they get the Oscar nomination and then people will watch afterwards.
They're actually more like accessible, like a lot of Netflix films or like blockbusters like Wicked, but it's not a lot of films that were like internet talk, I guess.
Historically, the Oscars tend to gravitate toward more obscure films, but they do want the big celebs, which is why they upped Best Picture to 10 and added some blockbusters for glitz. Jeff Snyder is the editor-in-chief of the InSnyder.
I was really surprised that Gladiator 2 didn't really get a whole lot of nominations. I mean, that was a big blockbuster. The first one won Best Picture, but it got snubbed in a lot of below-the-line categories. And it also, Denzel Washington missed out on a nomination. He's the kind of person who you want in the front row of the theater.
This year's 10 Best Picture nominations are Wicked and Emilia Perez, both musicals, the Bob Dylan biopic Complete Unknown, Demi Moore's substantive performance for Substance, Adrien Brody in The Brutalist, the blockbuster sequel Dune Part 2, Conclave with Stanley Tucci and Ralph Fiennes, the Brazilian drama I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, and the stripper-themed action dramedy Anora. Chances are you probably haven't heard of half of these films.
I think it definitely is going to hurt to not have an Oppenheimer or a Barbie this year. I wouldn't be shocked to see the ratings come down.
There could be some surprises on awards night, including who takes home the acting categories. Will it be Brody or Chalamet, Culkin or Norton, Cynthia or Demi, Zoe or Ari? Only time will tell. As for the show, the Oscars will air Sunday, March 2nd at 7 p.m., hosted by Conan O'Brien. In Kips Bay, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
All right, that's all the time we have for now. I'm Stephanie Bertini. Have a great day. And remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming right here on the Fox Local app.